Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, today is Tuesday, I believe, which they say is the most productive day of the week. So, what I'm going to do is start making Tuesdays the day where we have students from Tony Gaskins Academy who have stepped out. Now, you see the interviews. That's a different level because that's the interview where you get to meet them, feel their presence, hear their story. But we have another segment where we have individuals who have created products and books and things, and they are students of Tony Gaskins Academy. Now we got Scribble Dots today. Scribble Dots graphic design. So you're gonna find the link in the description. Now this here I can't wear this. This might not. If I had me a yellow couch podcast, I might put that on. But I ain't gonna be able to wear that. So I'm gonna take this stuff home to my wife. It's some good quality now. Good thick old African quality. And when I say that, I mean like it feel like the real deal. Like back in the day, like before we had all these fancy machines. Of course, it's when you got to just go get the real fabric and hand make it. That's right. This right here got me feeling good. So sent me a few of the items, and I'm gonna have the link in the description to the Etsy page. And this just for this also what I mean by your 10%. When you have that 10% and you like, I want to sow a seed, I want to be a blessing. That's what this type of stuff is for as well. When you saying, because hey, I want to step out and do business, so I'm gonna bless somebody else's business so that when I step out, I have already shown I know what it feel like. I know what it take to get somebody to support me. And so think about that. Now, on to today's topic. Now, those will be, 2-minute intros when we do those. So stick with me on that. And on to today's topic. These shirts got a good old quality. They're going to have my leg hot if I leave them on there. How to build genuine relationships. Now, I have a video called How to Date Correctly, and ironically, it still kind of travels and it does pretty decent. But I want to talk about this, and of course, you can make this a platonic thing, but we're going to talk about romantic relationships and really go all the way back and talk about it in a way to where if I could do it over, if those of you who are in relationships, if we could do it over, and what we need to be doing today and building genuine relationships, because we have a lot of spiritual attacks on us today with all of the overly sexualized music and television and society and just everybody just jumping into bed. It would probably be it may be almost 30 to 50% of humans, living with a STD today just because of the high sex rate. I remember way back in the day, Tyra Banks show was out, and I went on her show in 2009, but it was around that time I was watching the show, just looking at clips and stuff before I went on there because I wasn't like a huge fan of the show. And I remember they did this thing, and this back in the day. They were in the streets of New York City, and they went through the streets, and they were just asking, a bunch of women, and they could have asked men too, but I just saw the women part, and it was like, how many men have you slept with? And the women was just being open and honest and transparent, and they were sharing. And I believe the average came down to 18. It was either 13 or 18, but it was in the teens. And I just remember being floored because I was like, wow, I didn't really know that women get it in like that. And I know as men, we get it in, but it's different women. So I just didn't assume that women get it in like that. And then I've had more and more experience with coaching and just hearing about, the loose booty phase, which y'all call the HO phase. I call it loose booty. And just how common that is amongst people to have that phase of just in a period of time when you're drinking or you're partying or you're in the club. And I remember being in college and just remembering how easy it was, to do something with a young lady. And that right there has really torn away at the fabric of genuine relationships. And so then it leads to this thing of asking, how do I know it's real? And how do I know it's fake? And time will tell, as we all know, but how do you go about building this? So we're going to start from the initial approach. And what you have to realize is the initial way to build an authentic, healthy relationship, genuine relationship, will be in person. Now, every step from that, everything other than that. So after in person, second would be through, which is still meeting in person, would be through a warm lead, like a friend or family making the connection. Third would be meeting on a social networking site. So remember, in person, that fits in meeting at a job, meeting at a conference, meeting at a seminar. That's in person. That's the first number one way. That's the most genuine way. Second, somebody else connecting y'all, and then y'all still meet in person. And then third, meeting on social networking. And then fourth would be professional matchmaking. And then fifth would be online dating. And then sixth and last would be a woman shooting her shot, whether that's in the DM or in person, but so it still can go in one of the others. But a woman shooting her shot, which really should never happen. A woman should never shoot her shot, ever. And for a plethora of reasons, and we may have to do a whole video on that. We'll talk about that one day. But you just should never shoot your shot. If you was wondering, as a woman, do not shoot your shot. Keep your shot. Don't shoot it. And so now, after you meet, and however that is, the first thing you want to do is you want to talk on the phone. And the reason why you on the phone, because it allows you to just have conversation without you ain't got to be counting boogers in your nose. You know how when you're in person and you're a little nervous, it always feel like you got something in your nose, something in your face, just some. Do I got spinach in my teeth, piece of black pepper from my lunch in my teeth, and you trying to have a conversation and all that right there, and then you mess around, now you give me 1 second. Now you got to get you a napkin because you feel like you feel something. Nah, it's just a lot in person. So you want to talk on the phone first. And after talking on the phone, that could be about a 2-week process. Week process at the minimum, talking every single day. Then from there, you could build up to FaceTime. Now, again, take this with a grain of salt, because certain things, certain situations, it's a little different. It's going to move a little faster, but it's just a rule of thumb. You don't have to keep this to a T. Please understand that. I get it. I know sometimes it just, if you just don't know, you have no clue about it, and you just kind of be like, okay, I got to do 2 weeks. All right. But listen, this is just a guideline, just to help you understand that. Y'all give me 1 second. My wife texting me. All righty, y'all forgive me. And so, what that is? It was a side note. One of the soccer friends having a party, so I was trying to think about that. See y'all be in y'all sin on Halloween. That's the Lord's Day, and so that's the thing. People, I don't celebrate Halloween. I celebrate the Lord's Day. It's just another day. So if people dressing up, I'm not fit to be Freddy Krueger or Jason, but that don't make me question my walk with the Lord, because I'm not celebrating the devil day. I'm not fighting demons and ghost. But I ain't finna let the world make me sit in the house and just, can't go nowhere because the devil day. And so that's what Christians have to grow and mature and realize you can't let the devil claim no day. And don't let your kids be afraid of it. So it's like, all right, that's what the devil want to do. We finna take it and make this about the Lord. We hanging with Christians. And it's just we having us a costume party. The whole country doing it. We having us a costume party. So you have to be able to know that you get to not participate in what they doing. You ain't got to have blood running down your mouth and be doing seances with your false prophetess. But you got to understand you raising kids, and that's what a lot of Christians mess up. When you have kids, instead of teaching them, like, listen, we don't celebrate Halloween and demons and all of this witchcraft and whatever it may mean, because we Christians. But it's Christian schools that the kids get to put them on a little Superman outfit or whatever, and that's something to where you have to come out of that religiosity and all that, because God looking at your heart and what you doing. You saying a seance, you worshiping a demon. That's what, like, Halloween don't mean nothing to God. Christmas don't mean nothing to God. Easter don't mean nothing to God. You see what I mean? These is just days for economic, and this ain't got nothing to do with it. A little side note, because my wife texted me, so it kind of took over a little bit. This just days for economic advancement. They finna make millions and millions and hundreds of millions off of costumes, and the government getting taxes on every sale. That's all it's about. That's all it's really about for us. So back to what I was saying. So just like that, your first date might be on Halloween, you Christian, so now it's Hollyween. But leading up to that, y'all need to have had phone conversations, and then you could do FaceTime, and then when you meet in person, here's the guidelines in person. You talking. See, the thing about it is you have to remember why people move so fast. And people move so fast and go on a date, and the man want to hold hands, or he want to kiss you in the mouth. He want to grab a handful of booty, handful of breasts. He want to talk nasty. You got to understand why people move so fast. The reason why people move so fast is because you can pick up your phone and you can watch other humans have sex. So how does it make grabbing a piece of booty too forward when you could pick up your phone and watch whole other humans bumping and grinding, doing the nasty? So that's what has hindered society. And then in society now, it's men and women that's watching this stuff. So now both of you are nasty. And then let's say you just got a powerful mind and you don't have to watch nothing. You just can envision in your mind with your hand or your toy. You're nasty. You're nasty. Understand that is a spirit a little nasty. And that's why when you go on the first date, you perplexed at the end of the date of why there wasn't a kiss. You should not want a kiss on the first date. Like, you barely know this person, and now you finna catch mono. You finna catch herpes of the mouth. You finna catch pneumonia, trichonomia. That's not really a disease and nothing, I don't think, but like strep throat, COVID on the first date. But it's so many people, and I've had this question asked a lot of times by women that say, is it okay to kiss on the first date? And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, wow, okay, that's really something that's going on. Now on the other side, I'm like, is you crazy? Like, that's nasty. You know, that man could have just came up from eating some peach cobbler. and not whatever that woman got, it's all in your mouth. So it's like at least get to know that you know the person before you catch a disease or a sickness or illness from them. Get to know the person first. And so once you understand that, then you can understand that. Y'all give me 1 second. Now you move a little slower. Y'all forgive me. Talk to my wife. If it's new people on here, y'all just gotta understand that's how it go down over here now. These videos it's not PowerPoints. So understand it's a real deal. So now after you have that, so here you go on a date. In this dating phase, so you literally could break it up like this. And this is a mistake that a lot of people make. And I heard this quote from somebody, I can't remember. My next coaching call not till 40 minutes, I think. So we good. So buckle in. I heard this quote, and it says, with people, fast is slow and slow is fast. And what they meant by that is that you can't rush the process with people. You can't be effective and efficient with people. See, you're effective and efficient with machinery in a warehouse. And that's how people are trying to do people. It's a reason why that's a machine and it's not a person, because a person can't move that fast. A person can't do what mechanics can do. A person is going to be a lot slower, a lot more deliberate, a lot more intentional, and not necessarily more precise, but it's going to be slower. And so that's why we created, as humans, that's why we have engineers to make things effective and efficient. So what you have to understand is when people are going and trying to engineer love, you could go to a mechanical engineer and you could get something created and get something made, and then you could have this facility and you could be your process is fast. It's just flowing, it's flowing. But you can't do that with human hearts. But people trying to engineer love instead of slowly building love. So you literally can meet the person however you meet them. If you meet them on online dating, online app, you meet them on the website, you meet them on whatever, meet them in person, meet them through a matchmaker, friend or family member. You meet, do 2 weeks of phone conversation. It allows you to get used to the person and just builds a level of comfort. Then you can do 2 weeks of FaceTime calls. Then you could go to in-person dates. With in-person dates, you could do 2 weeks of in-person dates, which could be essentially, you could go all the way up to 10 weeks with in-person dates. Now, in this process, you stacking on each thing. So in building a genuine relationship, you stacking. So the first thing you doing is you having phone conversations every day. And then the next thing you doing is you having in-person dates. And in the in-person dates, you focusing more on talking. For the first 10 days, it's talk-based dates. So you're going out to eat. You're going to the park. You're going to walk. You're doing picnics. So you're not going in the first 10 days. Yes, now understand, yes, one or two of this, yes. But you're not doing concert. You're not doing sporting events. You're not doing movies. You're doing things where you can talk to the best of your ability now. And okay, it just may work out to where when y'all meet this Friday, today, Tuesday, this Friday is the concert. Okay, that's different because it's right there. So you go ahead and you do it. You got to use inference with all of this stuff. Read between the lines. Don't say, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't go on a concert because we don't get to talk there. So I got to miss this big concert. The only time it's coming in a year may never come again because we got to do a talking date. So no, you go to the concert. But what you could do is before y'all could meet for a bite to eat and you get some good talking in. After, you could pop out the Cold Stone Creamery, get your little ice cream, even though it's out your calorie. Cold Stone send me a check. And you get your little ice cream. Now, y'all could also get on the phone, on speakerphone, car phone, Bluetooth, and talk while y'all ride home. Hey, give me a call when you get in the car. And y'all talk all the way home. Both of y'all get home safely. Now it's bedtime. Now, in building a genuine relationship, you have to have boundaries. So that right there already, that encompasses it. Phone time, FaceTime, in-person dates, and then you got the first 10 dates. Now, as you go on, that's when other stuff get introduced. So like date 11 and on, okay, holding hands. From date 11, peck on the nose, peck on the forehead, peck on the cheek. You got to ask yourself, do I like this person enough to die for him? Like, I don't think you're gonna die from strep throat or mono, but that's what you got to ask yourself now. What is the cold sores? Yeah, yes, people say it's like a form of herpes. We don't necessarily look at, even though that's what they say it is, we don't necessarily look at it like that. But you got to ask yourself, okay, all right, am I willing to, if you never had your cold sore, are you willing to catch you one? And if you say, okay, yeah, for this person, I really, really, really like them. Come on, give me that cold. Give me that cold sore. And okay, all right, mono. Give me that mono. And so there you go. But if the answer is no, then you keep with the normal routine and just get to watch them a little bit. They're doing too much snotting and sniffling. Okay, what you got, mono? What that is? Well, Lord, what a COVID? And so you have to take your time so you can see. So now you see where they at and you building. Now, mind you, we out the house. We out the house. These 10 dates, 20 dates, 30 dates, we out the house. Before you do an in-home date, it should not be inside of 10 dates. You need to do 10 days outside. You got a bare minimum man if he want to have a date in the house. If you want to have a date in the house as a woman inside of 10 dates, you a bare minimum woman. That's the bare minimum. Get out. Get some endorphins released. See the world together. Not meaning see the city together. You don't want to be traveling inside of 10 dates either. So anything that you getting ready to do, might be about time for me to break my fast. I ain't supposed to be working really. I'm fasting. Let me see how many hours I done been. I'm probably around about 40 hours. And I felt a little burn at the top of my stomach, but it could because I'm talking. So you have to say, okay, they want to kiss on the lips. Go through your checklist. Do I want mono? All right, I'll take my chance. They want to have a date at the house. Do I know this person enough to know that, to really feel like they won't force themselves on me? If the answer is no, that means you're not ready for an in-home date. Then you want to say, you also want to ask, do I know and really, really, really feel strongly and talk to a friend or two or a parent or two or whoever about, could this person be Jeffrey Dahmer cousin? If the answer is I don't know, then it's too early for an in-person date. So that's what Jeffrey Dahmer used to do. He used to go in there to the gay club, if I recall correctly from the Netflix documentary, and he'll shoot his shot at these men, and then here go these nasty booty men. Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, let's go back to the park. Dummy. What, you don't even know this man? And the next thing you know, their heart getting ate. Why? because not building genuine relationships. So you have to understand that in this process, when you out and you meeting people, you never know who you're meeting. I was just hearing from a client the other day, and she took my advice. She got out the house. I gave her the whole blueprint of how to do it. She did it, and she said, I had a lot of fun. She said, I'm an introvert. It's out my personality, but I did it. I had fun. I met people. She said, I actually met a guy, and we set up a date. But and she said he even offered to pick me up, but I politely declined. And then come time for the date, I didn't hear from him. Guess what? That was Jeffrey Dahmer. That was Jeffrey Dahmer. So just like that, because you got to understand, Jeffrey Dahmer's and Ted Bundy's, they out there. They at the bar. They at Buffalo Wild Wing, but they don't want a Buffalo Wild Wing. You finna be their next Wild Wing. They want your wing. And so that's why you have to build slowly. You cannot get caught up in this society. And see, today, what you have to realize, and y'all thing might be, I almost have to start filming on my phone because messed up my doggone Chrome, and the computer won't let me update to the latest version of Mac to get the new Google Chrome. So I'm on Firefox. And the Fox about to get fired because it be skipping. So somebody will tell me, oh, it's skipping. Hey, can't worry about it. That's all I got to do. I might be on the wrong Wi-Fi though. That might be my fault. No, I'm on the right Wi-Fi. So that's why you have to build slowly, because what society is doing is society putting you in a chokehold, and society telling you rush everything. Oh, you immature, you childish. If you won't let a man come to your house, you childish. Oh, you scary if a man can't come to your house. Oh, you ignorant, or you wasting money because you want to go out to California Pizza Kitchen. California, send me a check. You want to go out to California Pizza Kitchen versus making homemade pizza. Oh, I'm romantic. I thought you was romantic. I thought you was a real woman. I wanted to make you homemade pizza. All right, that's fine and dandy. Hey, listen, this has nothing to do with you. This is not about you. Please don't make this about you. What you have to realize is we live in a whole wide world, and you and I are not the only two people in the world, and some people are crazy. So therefore, even the sane people have to go through certain things because of the crazy people. Get with it. That's why we have TSA. None of us are going to bomb a plane. But because planes have been attacked or whatever, terrorist attack, now we all got to go through all of this strenuous TSA. Man, grabbing all on meat leg. He all up there. Rub up your leg. Sir, what's that? Sir, Dangale, can you hurry up? I got to go. My goodness. Oh, excuse me. Sir, well, what you thought was finna be there? And so guess what? Now we all have to go through TSA. Why? Because some people decided that they wanted to take lives, and people lost loved ones. So guess what? The same thing for dating. Yes, the person you dealing with may be an amazing soul, might be your future husband or wife, but you still got to do your due diligence. You still have to take your time, because the thing about it is these fornicating podcasters and guest ministers, they don't want to take no time. They want, y'all give me a second. My son text me. Man, I missed a good one. Y'all gotta forgive me. My son texted me, the coach texting me and him going to he being recruited by a couple of teams, and we going to watch both of them play tomorrow. Sorry about that. Y'all forgive him. Hey, yes, my family. I should have been checked. I hope my son, I try to help him with the responses and stuff, and just so we talk through it and dealing with his college recruiting right now and all of that. So I want you to think about this because people they want to rush you in the bed. They want to get you right there. Oh, and then people will twist your arm. I was talking to a guy and one of my mentees, and he told me that he trying to be abstinent. He's saving himself now. Born again virgin, and a lady, and this guy got a lot to offer the world. Is a great guy, and a young lady just cut him off because he won't sleep with her. So this go both ways. A lot of times, and to my knowledge, I thought it was, well, I knew it happened some of the time, but based on the young lady he showed me, I didn't think that would be her stance. I could see some on her spirit. I could see some on her spirit just because she had a slight, well, I can't tell you how I read people, but I could tell when somebody has something on them. So I could see a little bit of a closet freak on her spirit. And I told him that. And then, so when he came back and he was like, bro, man, you different, boy. He was like, boy, you got to give. He was like, man, you got to give. He's like, you call something on her spirit. He said, this young lady just told me she can't move forward with me because she don't believe in not having sex. That she need to have sex because she need to see what I'm working with, basically. He sent me the message, sent me the screenshot. I was floored. I was absolutely floored. I say, you little nasty heifer. Y'all got to forgive me. I don't mean in a derogatory way. It's just what my grandma used to say, heifer. I really don't even know what it is. Some of y'all might know what it is. Look, nasty heifer. How in the world you meet a man with everything going for him? Got 3 B's and everything. Brains, brand, body, meaning take care of yourself. Now don't think about it like and have me on here saying pause. But I mean fit, going to the gym, not sleeping around. And I'm talking about it's a lot of women that like the young man, but at the same time, it's like he picky, he choosy. So sometimes it happened the other way around, but I didn't think that would be the reason. And that's why it's so hard to build genuine relationships today because everybody's trying to jump into bed. And even the Christians and the Muslims and the other people of faith who religion say you're not supposed to have sex outside of marriage. Everybody jumping in the bed. Everybody and their mama jumping in the bed. Even the pastors and the bishops and the preaching podcasters, everybody jumping in the bed. So it makes it so hard to build a genuine relationship once you introduce sex. And that's why I say that's why the phone is so powerful. And that's the one beauty of long distance relationships is you get to build genuine friendship unless you just on video doing the nasty all the time. Now it's no different. You're not building genuine friendships and you're not making use of what you could be doing because of how you doing it. So you got to understand that and realize like that's not smart. So you want to take your time. And in this conversation, here's the thing. In order to build a genuine friendship, you got to get to know people the same way you would get to know someone at a networking event. And you ask the same questions. You talk to a potential lover the way you talk to a coworker. The mistake that people make is just right out the gate. Like you your time is not that short to where you got to, on the first date, ask every tough question of like every little thing. So, do you have an STD? Do you have, how many children do you have? What's their middle name? Where did you live when you was here? Where were you on the night of November 38th in 1971? Okay. So why did you do that? What did you do that? And that's how some people do it. They get so serious because they've been single for so long, that they've been in their head so long, that they didn't come up with this novel of questions. And it's just so out of touch from reality. It's so socially awkward. It's so just off-putting. And people ruin what could have been a healthy relationship because they don't know how to be chill. They don't know how to just kind of pause and just take their time. And sorry, I'm gonna text my son. They don't know how to pause and take their time, so they go in. And I'm telling you, I deal with this all the time. Like when I'm coaching singles, and it is the funniest, saddest thing in the world. Cause sorry about that. Because on one side, it's like it's funny because it's like, oh, you so well thought out. Congratulations, here go a cookie. And then on the other side, it's like you're gonna be single the rest of your life. Like you got to calm down. You got to get out your head. Well, I don't have the time. Listen, stay out the comments. Cause it's you who I'm talking to. If you get all that air in your chest, the way you've got to write me a dissertation in the comments, I'm talking to you. You is the overbearing person that if you don't get out of your head and let somebody help you, you're going to stay single. Listen to me. Like, you're going to be able to pick up what's not being said. Not everything have to be said, because this is what you got to say. Because this is what you got to realize. Like, some people want to go in. So have you ever, and now I even see this with some people, like with my mentee, he sent me a screenshot, and one of the questions he asked, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I said, okay, these people different. I said, but these modern daters, I said, yeah, it's definitely different. It is definitely different. Well, I'm gonna see if I can find. No, I don't see it. I was gonna try to see if I can find what that question that was asked, because I was so blown away by that question. I was like, man, that's what is that? But it was some type of like a personality trait. It was like, do you know you're such as yo, you know, BDSM or DTSM or IBM or, and I was like, do I need to know that? Do I need to look that up and see what my IBM is? And the other person was like, yeah, it's such, it's ABCD 1 2 3. I was like, well, what is this? I said, so this is what they tell me when they talking about dating is different. But no, it's not. It's different, but at the same time, it's like y'all could be doing too much with that. Because now it becomes like it becomes too much like a job interview, or too much like it's just too heady. Instead of, so yeah, so how long have you lived here? Been here all, okay, all right. Well, what brought you here? Okay, cool. I mean, how do you like it? All right. What's the funniest thing that you've done? Okay. Well, what's one thing you want to do? Okay. Oh wow, that is hilarious. Oh wow, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I know them. Okay, yeah. Do you know this person right here? Okay, yeah, right. This right here, yeah. So it's just like you just flowing in the conversation. It's kind of like the same way you would talk to somebody in the grocery line. And see, what you're gonna pick up is when you just shooting the breeze for the first 1, 2, 3 days, you gonna pick up lies. You gonna pick up their energy. You gonna pick up they fidgeting. You gonna pick up they eye contact. You gonna pick up how many times they blink, how many times they switch some up. You're gonna be able to pick up if they super nervous, if they too aggressive, if they too assertive, if they too cocky, too braggadocious, too what have you. You're gonna be able to pick this stuff up. Y'all forgive him. Talk to my son. And so you don't have to get because see, this is the thing what you got to understand. When you dealing with little ugly, when you dealing with little nasty, man, listen, it's gonna be you not getting a truthful answer. So you sitting there with your 21 question from 50 Cent, and all and what you just got was 21 lies. And so it served you no good versus just having normal conversation. And see, the thing about it is a lot of times singles, you get so in your head that common sense no longer makes sense because you allowing desperation to set in, you allowing fear to set in. And so you get to this place to where you get to this place and you're like, okay, well, Tony, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't have 3 dates to waste. And I need to know. I am tired. I've been waiting for 6.5 years to meet someone. And now you're telling me it's going to take 30 dates before I know if he's the one. And it's just like, listen, calm down, pump your brakes. You're building for a lifetime. You're not building for nighttime. You building for a lifetime. You can't rush that process. And the thing about it is, even if you're gonna know. You're gonna know within the first 2 or 3 days. You're gonna know. So you're not actually wasting time because that third date probably, if they're not the one, that third date gonna be the last date if you paying attention. But see, the reason how you get bamboozled and befuddled is you ask these questions. Here you are asking these questions and you getting textbook answers. So you getting the answer that sounds perfect. So then when you see the behavior that would have let you know, that would have tipped you off, now you don't recognize the behavior because you holding on to the answer. It's just like how these fornicating podcasters get in the pulpit. They get in the pulpit and what they saying is sound good. But because you're hearing the perfect answer, the perfect words, perfect scripture, you're not able to pay attention to their actions. So you miss the little sly fornicating phrase that was just said, the little nasty question that was asked. You sweep over it, you brush over it because you brushing over it because here it is. You taking and you holding on to, well, I'm looking for a woman of God who I can pray with and pray over, but she also can stand in the gap and pray over me. I want a woman who has the spiritual authority to cast out demons and tear down strongholds. I want a woman who is going to war in the spirit for me while I'm asleep and while I'm away. And I want to date for my kingdom spouse, and I'm dating intentionally. So that's the word salad that you get. So you just, ooh, Lord, thank you. Ooh, thank you. And now you and your fake prophetess on the phone. And y'all over there doing all that. So, cause why? Cause your fornicating podcaster just gave you. And listen, I ain't just talking about. I'm not literally talking about a podcaster. I had to clarify that because some people like, well, Tony. I get a whole email. Well, Tony, what if it's not a podcaster? You kept saying podcaster, but I don't really date podcasters. Ma'am, I wasn't necessarily talking directly about podcasters. It was just example. Thank you for listening and everything. God bless you. Keep your head up. And so you have to understand that you got that word salad, and then now you over here. And the thing about it is, especially for y'all Christians, I'm gonna say this to y'all Christians. There's some people on here that's Muslim, some people on here atheists. But I'm gonna say this to y'all Christians. Sometimes y'all get too spiritual. Sometimes you get too spiritual. And you believe in every dream. You believe in every dream. You have to understand. Dreams are also a recollection of your day, of your life, of your experiences. You can have certain kind of dreams based on chemicals that's in your stomach. What you listen to that day, what you watch that day. Not every dream, get out your feelings now, because you feel like you're a dream interpreter. I said not every. I ain't say not any. I say not every dream is a word from the Lord. 9 out of 10 times it is indigestion. If you eat within 4 hours of going to sleep, you cannot trust your dream. That's indigestion. The Lord gonna speak to you when you're fasting anyways. Lord ain't gonna speak to you on no full stomach because of how the stomach acid affect the brain with that food. Listen, you're not really resting and sleeping well. So you're gonna have crazy dreams if you eat within 3 to 4 hours of going to bed. You got to understand that. If you had alcohol after 7 p.m., you can't trust your dream. And no, it's not a sin to drink alcohol. You just not supposed to be a drunkard, a wine bibbler, like the Bible say. And so, yeah, alcohol, but if you have it after 7 p.m. and you go to bed before midnight, you can't trust that dream. And so this is the thing. Don't be so spiritual that you block your blessing. And I have to express this because I see it every day. Well, his nails weren't cut. And, not having really kept nails, that's the spirit of Leviathan or a succubus spirit. And it's like, no, he just not on top of that. He just wasn't raised like that to keep his nails cut all the time. I know great men who nail get a little too long. Mine might be a little too long right now. And so you have to understand that. Like right now, my toenails, I'm out here like an eagle with talons. Right now, I'm gripping there. I climb up a wall right now with these toenails. But that don't mean that the guy got a demonic spirit on him. And so you can't be so spiritual that you start to confuse yourself and you starting to walk away from blessings. Well, I just know the Lord is not going to send me a man with a receding hairline because the Bible says he gives the desires of your heart. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I want you to understand that in this process, you taking your time, you having normal conversation. You don't work for the FBI. This is not First 48. You have normal conversation. You can have conversations about politics. That's a touchy subject, about religion, about sports, about kids, about family, but just free flowing. Don't get too deep. Don't get too interrogating. And then you read, you listen to what's not being said, and you see what's not being shown per se. And you're gonna be able to feel it because we know what a lie feel like, what a lie look like, what a lie sound like, and we know what the truth look like, feel like, and sound like. So because of our interactions, 70% of communication is nonverbal. So that 30% could be all lies. That 30% that's verbal could be all lies. Y'all gotta forgive me. I had to text one of my consultants who helping with my son recruiting. And so understand, and when you get that in your spirit, I got to coach in 6 minutes. So we got 6 minutes left. Then you start to realize and understand, okay, I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna space it out. Don't try to go from right there from home plate to third base right away. Yeah, sometimes you might hit your triple, but just go one base at a time. And as you taking your time and you listening, you double checking, you fact checking basically, and then you can't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to say, okay, this is not a fit. This is not gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and make it known and I'm gonna move on with my life. You can't be afraid. And this is very important to do. And then the deeper you get, then that's the more. So when you cross 3 months, you get a little deeper. Now you looking a little deeper into their family, into their life, to their belief system, to their history. Like, think about it. You could be in 4 sort of serious relationships in a year if you cut somebody off at 3 months, basically. And I coached a client yesterday. Wait till y'all hear her story. Wait, when you hear her story, Russell Tessa, who TF did I marry, is gonna sound like a children's book. It no, her story might sound closer to the Bible. It might sound like a religious story when you hear this young lady's story that I heard last night. And I was floored. I told her, listen, I done worked with probably over 4,000 women one-on-one. And I ain't never heard no story like this. Now I did hear a story that was this year too, that was a second place, but not all the way. But this one here, in the sense of meeting somebody and going forward with a relationship. Now I've heard worse stories with like women and their father, or parental stuff, women and their mom, but in a romantic relationship. And that's why I want to do this video as well. Just we got to we got to pump them brakes when it come down to this dating. Take your time. Stop rushing. Do not just be jumping out there, doing the most, and just forcing a situation just because. Take your time and don't rush. Don't rush. Y'all got to forgive me here. I'm going to get my client file open so I could be ready. And listen to me. It can get a little tricky. That's why I do one-on-one sessions for that reason. Unfortunately, all of them booked up except for the My Mentor.life sessions, which are the 8 p.m. Eastern sessions. So if you really need to, this stuff that we talk about, it is general. And if you need more specific, then that's what a one-on-one session with myself or another coach from My Mentor.life will benefit you. And my father is on there as well. His price is a fifth of my price on My Mentor.life, so he's a great option. But we have several other coaches. We'll do more coach shout outs and stuff, but that's kind of what we're doing on Saturdays. There's a lot of coaches in that, so you get to meet some good coaches there. Not all of them will be relationship coaches, but take notes and Start to really process this and create your dating plan, your dating, so to speak, schedule. It may change a little bit, but see how much time you want to talk a day. And remember to have boundaries. Cause I talk to some people and they're like, well, yes, Tony, I met this person. He or she is amazing. And we talk 6 hours a day. That's too much. You got to have boundaries because now you going into love bombing and that could be just as dangerous. So you got to set boundaries and you got to pace yourself. Don't try to get it all at once. Don't try to fall all in love overnight. Like pace yourself and take your time getting to know this person. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. God bless you. And we're going to talk soon.